Antonio Spurs. At center,
starting in power. Greetings, everyone. 2K Sports brings you the NBA.
All right, ready to go?
This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. The fans here in Philadelphia ready to cheer on their 76ers in this interconference matchup. And this matchup with the Spurs, it's their first meeting of the season. They lost both of the matchups in this interconference battle a season ago. They'd like to change that now.
You know, some teams just have your number, and that was the case between these two last season.
Yeah, on paper, it looked like it should have been no contest, but the opposite was true.
A look at the San Antonio Spurs opening lineup. Parker and Green are the guard pairing. They'll get out there with LaMarcus Aldridge, and it's Leonard in at the small forward. Parker outside. They kick it out to Green. And it's good on the assist by Parker.
assist goes to Tony Parker.
Here's Houdini. He picked up 27 points in their last win against Toronto. There's the screen. And the 76ers tack on two more.
Off to a nice start here. They've hit all three from the field.
Left side, Leonard. Aldridge a screen. Leonard kicks to Aldridge.
That's a wall.
So he gets the...
No way.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Checking out the 76ers. A win tonight would make it 3 victories in their first 4 games of the season. That would be a nice little run to start the year. And with a few moments here, you know, we've seen a lot of coaching turnover. When you played, Shaq, what did you like in a coach, and what set the good ones apart?
Well, my coach had to be a triple OC. He had to be overcome.
A wonderfully symmetrical skyline you have to love downtown Detroit. From suburban Detroit, we proudly bring you the Pistons at the Palace of Auburn Hills. Well, guys, for the Philadelphia 76ers, they come in off a loss to the Spurs.
And really, they just shot their average from the free throw line in that game. I think that probably changes the outcome.
No doubt. I mean, because there is a carryover effect when you're not having success at the line.
Now look at Philadelphia's starting lineup. Yates in at point guard. He's out there with Jody Meeks. Wilson Chandler out there with Okafor. And it's Holmes in at the 4 spot. Now here's Green. 4 on the shot clock. And misses it off the right side of the rim. And Philadelphia has possession. Here's Houdini. And the pass to Holmes. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist.
Excellent assist there. Just led him to the perfect spot.
Philadelphia on D. 4-point game. Bass with a screen for Collison. Drummond a screen. The drive by Green. He got right to the cup using that screen.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
Feeds to Meeks. Okafor, the pass to Yates. Lets it fly from 18. Again, Philadelphia. Just over a minute and a half played here in this one. Outside Collison. He feeds it to Green. And the three off target. For Philadelphia, they've gotten their first 3 shots to go in for to start off this game. And that one's good. Meeks got his first 2 points of the night.
4 makes on 4 tries. Everything's falling early. 100%, can't do better than that.
Ball stolen. Here's Yates. Rebound, Detroit. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to Chicago.
And on an ordinary night, guys, I think they would have come out on top. That's just how well they played, but they happened to catch an opposing team at the very top of their game.
I'd venture to guess, Greg, that if that game was played in their building instead of on the road, they win it.
The 76ers leading by 6. Fires it up. And they cash in right away with the quick shot. Houdini's got 6.
3 of 4 to start. Young fella came to play.
Bass with the screen. The drive by Green. Now here's Collison. Defense is right there. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in.
I don't know. Maybe they're still working out the kinks on D, because that clearly was a breakdown.
Houdini passes to Meeks. Here's Houdini. 3-pointer. Shot's good. He's got 9.
So far, so good for them at the offensive end here in the early going.
Yeah, the great field goal percentage to start, exactly what they were hoping for.
Now here's Collison. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Chicago.
But what stood out for me was his gorgeous playmaking out there. I mean, over and over, he was finding his teammates in a great position to score.
Just 4 to shoot. And it's Green missing.
It has not been an easy quarter for him, at least offensively speaking.
From outside the arc. And again, the 3-point shot is good from Yates. Houdini's got a couple of threes now in the first with the 76ers. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Detroit Pistons dancers.
And a chance now to see the numbers for Jahlil Okafor. Last season, he played outstanding. 5th and he's a shot blocker as well. Top 20 in that category last season. Great timing and challenges at the rim.
And yeah, he's one of the most efficient scorers in the league. Moves without the ball and avoids taking bad shots.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Jason Smith, he's checked in for Drummond. Marcus Morris comes in for Brandon Bass. Thomas checked in for Johnson. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Darren Collison. Morris into the lane. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. That one on Chandler. The Pistons shooting their first free throws of the game on this trip to the line.
Marcus Morris.
And the first one at the line is good. And Morris drops them both. There's a minute 47 left to play in the first quarter. Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Kevin, I had a chance to speak briefly with Coach Nate McMillan. He told me that he's looking forward to this matchup, their first look at this team so far this season. He said they'll look to play up defensively. As usual, their length and shot blocking a great deterrent inside. Kevin?
Wonderful, Doris. Thanks. They're thinking about their defense right off the bat here.
Yeah, great thought, really, to have coming out of the locker room. Worry about making stops first and foremost. Let the offense take care of itself.
Yeah, I agree somewhat, but at some point you've got to do some work offensively as well. They can't rely on defense alone.
And it's the 76ers with the ball. After the basket by Detroit. Here's the dish to Covington. And there's the whistle. Illegal screen.
Now that's a close call there on the illegal screen.
But I'd go along with it, Greg. I mean, it didn't look like his feet were set.
Andre Drummond's checked in for Jason Smith. Bass comes in for Marcus Morris. Johnson, he's checked in for Lance Thomas. And it's Collison in for Gerald Green. And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor. All fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. And Detroit looking at who they've got. Andre Drummond is out there with Brandon Bass. Then it's Matthew Dellavedova. And there's Collison, and it's Johnson in at the 3 slot.
They're going back to the three-point shot over and over and over.
And they may have found the Achilles heel of this defense. That was their 9th straight point from beyond the arc.
And he gets the bucket.
Really, the defense is helpless to stop a layup right there. Just too much of an advantage in terms of the mismatch.
Houdini passes to Okafor, and he goes in for the dunk.
Maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable dunks.
Yeah, and when he's got a lead like that, why not take a few chances? A lot more engaging and entertaining than just doing the old ho-hum one-hander.
Here's Collison, and he banks in the layup.
They started the game off tortoise-like, but their offense coming to life.
Yeah, they've got a little bit more pep in their step as they start to put together some rhythm.
Okafor scored the basket, his 2nd of 2 attempts.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
Yeah, that's a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yeah, he was on the money, that's no doubt. The Pistons have looked good at the line tonight. They're perfect in 4 attempts. And he knocks down the first one. Tariq Black, he's checked in for Andre Drummond. And Philadelphia making a change here. And both free throws good for Darren Collison. The 76ers leading by 10. Here's Yates. Boom, he jams it straight down.
And what a beautiful way to polish off that sequence. Just strong at attacking the rim.
That just puts a little more momentum on their side, don't you think?
Absolutely.
The defense got to tighten up now. I mean, you can't have the opposing point guard throwing down on you like that.
Johnson the screen. Shot clock at 6. Here's Dellavedova. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him.
Yeah, they've raised their shooting percentage in this quarter, and they're starting to get on track.
And they're starting to heat up is what they're doing. They're on fire. I mean, that's what they need to climb back into this game.
Here's Houdini. 11 points last game.
Some fantastic numbers for Houdini. He's got 17 points, and he's got 9 points from behind the arc.
And that's been an important part of his game today. It's really spaced the floor.
Both free throws good from Yates.
And they're really getting more points at the free throw line. Here in the second quarter.
And Greg, definitely that's one of the reasons they're in front right now.
Outside Collison. Puts it up from 17. And he didn't get quite enough under that one.
Well, they've only got a slight edge in rebounding when you look at the numbers, but it certainly feels a lot bigger than it is.
Yeah, the score has a lot to do with that. Their overall effort and execution has been elite.
They set the pick. Here's Dellavedova. He's guarded by Meeks. Dellavedova kicks to Bass. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Dellavedova. Bass has got his 2nd basket of the night.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Well, Kev, Freak In the last matchup against the Spurs, put forth a nice effort. He had 11 points, and he was able to dish out a few helpers to teammates as well. We could see his role in this offense expand if he puts together more games like this one, guys.
All right, thank you as always, Doris. And another special game from a player that we know is incredibly capable for this team.
Yeah, and he proved his value again in that last game. I mean, he's a cog in their machine, no doubt.
Yeah, and they're going to need a few other players to lend a bigger hand today. I mean, they can't expect him to carry the entire load 2 games in a row.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Jason Smith, he's checked in for Tarek Black. Morris comes in for Brandon Bass. Lance Thomas, he's checked in for Johnson. And it's Gerald Green in for Matthew Dellavedova. Right side Jackson lays it in without an inch of room around him.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
They get the rebound. Morris with the bucket.
Almost an impossible shot to block in the post. The defender can't give up that much of a height advantage and expect to contest it.
Houdini passes to Okafor. The feed to Jackson. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call. And Philadelphia making a change here. So we've reached the end of the first half of play. 76ers ahead, up by 15.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen,
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen. You look at Freak in this game, he has been everywhere.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey there, and thank you for joining us on 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. This NBA season didn't take long to get interesting, but these two gentlemen have always captured our interest. Say hello to Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Hello, Kenny.
Hey, how are you?
Hello, Shaq. Tonight we'll see the Miami Heat playing against the 76ers in Philadelphia. Checking out the 76ers, they have to be pleased with the way things have gone for them this season, winning 3 of their first 4 games. They've been a confident-looking team since the end of the preseason. And guys, the fans always enjoy hearing stories from your playing days. Let's talk teammates. Shaq, who were your favorite guys to play with over the years?
You know, everyone loves the Shaq, and Shaq has 4 rings.
It's game time in Philadelphia as the crowds at Wells Fargo Center look to cheer on the 76ers. For the Philadelphia 76ers, they come in off a good outing against the Pistons in Detroit. And they put it all together in that game. It added up to a phenomenal win.
And they may have been on the road, but you know what? They nullified any home court disadvantage in that game by how well they shot it from three.
Shooting can always be a great equalizer. I mean, when you shoot like that from outside, it really makes winning on the road a lot easier.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. And for Miami, looking who they've got out there. The big men are Bosh and Whiteside. Martin is out there with Dragic, and it's Winslow in at the three. So it's Philadelphia now, following the miss by Chris Bosh. The shot's good from Yates.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
Outside Bosh. Whiteside a screen. The feed now to Winslow. Bosh a screen on Chandler. Winslow dishes to Bosh. Now in the scoring column with that deuce. 1 for 2 this game.
Well, Merry Christmas. I mean, that was a freebie.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Kevin, I was able to speak with Eric Spoelstra for a moment. He told me that he's looking forward to this matchup. Their first look at this team so far this season. He said they'll look to play up defensively. As usual, their length and shot blocking a great deterrent inside. Kevin?
Thank you very much, Doris. So it's mainly about defense for them early on.
And it won't just be early. I mean, it'll be about D all game long.
Yeah, and he made that point very clearly and emphatically to Doris and his players. I think we're going to see an intense defensive performance today.
Down to 5 on the shot clock, and the shot is good. Dragic has got his. First points in this one. The 76ers have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Houdini passes to Meeks. On the wing, Chandler. Pass to Yates. Dishes it to Okafor. Banked in off the glass.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
Dragic kicks to Bosh. Whiteside a screen. Pass to Martin. Fires for 3, and he gets it to go. Martin's got his first 3 points of the game.
The screenplay worked ideally there, and I'm not talking about the screenplay you see in a movie theater. Gave him more than enough room to get that shot off.
Here's Houdini. In the game against Detroit, very impressive. No problems knocking that one down. Meeks got 6 points.
Only took them a few seconds to answer the 3 ball with one of their own.
Greg, we've got a 3-point battle taking shape here.
Whiteside sets the pick for Martin. No good. And the 76ers go the other way with it. Chandler goes in. Passes it to Yates. Lets the 3 fly. Good. Houdini's got his second basket of the game.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
Dragic kicks to Bosh. Outside Martin. Right side a screen. Goes up on the wing. Martin with the bucket. Martin's got 5.
He's looking confident right from the opening tip.
Here's Houdini. He has 5. Pick by Okafor. Off the screen. Meeks can't hit.
Good pick, but he just couldn't make it count.
Yeah, nice job of setting the screen by his teammate there, and I'm sure he appreciated it.
Winslow wide open. He fires. Off target from outside. Last outing for Miami, it was a loss to the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, they just caught a team, Kevin, that was in a zone, and they didn't have the manpower defensively to disrupt them.
Hey, zone or no zone, I expected a little more fight out of them than what they showed. I mean, they never strung together any stops like they needed to.
We need to calm down. We're taking too many shots early in the clock. Let's get some ball movement and run something on the offensive end. Keep it simple. Slow down inside.
A very nice season for
up top.
him last year. Last season, he averaged rebounds. And he's been putting up points with regularity. I mean, that's what they depend on, his killer instinct on offense.
Yeah, and anytime this club needs a bucket, he's their go-to. Just irrepressible and a prolific scorer.
The Heat making a switch here. Chris Kaman is checked in for Whiteside. Josh McRoberts comes in for Chris Bosh. Austin Rivers, he's checked in for Kevin Martin. And Brian Roberts subbed in for Goran Dragic. Here's Yates. That's good. And it's Jackson with the assist that time. That's now 8 points for Freak. And Roberts kicks to McRoberts. Feeds it to Roberts. There's the pass to McRoberts. And the first shot of the night for him, no good. The 76ers leading by 9. Here's Yates. Another three for Philadelphia.
And really, that's what built the early lead here. Killer shooting from beyond.
And the defense to recognize that and get to the shooters. It's imperative that they get a hand up.
Stolen. Here's Kaman. And Philadelphia grabs the miss. This game against Miami here, their first look at the Heat.
Yeah, and they're hoping for a better showing against this club this season. Last year, they came out on the losing end.
And, you know, with two teams in the upper pyramid in the early going, important to establish that pecking order, especially within your conference. So this game is important.
You couldn't have dreamed of a much better start here than they've had today.
I think the offensive game plan they came in with was right on point. It's worked perfectly, and the lead they already have is proof in the pudding.
And now a chance to hear from Chris Bosh about what it meant to him to become an NBA player, the fulfillment.
I was obsessed with the NBA as a kid, and just like I would have died to get in that locker room.
What a great cut from Chris Bosh. That's the kind of guy you can't help Greg but love for his attitude and ability to be, you know, in touch with that kid he once was. I know you played the same way. Chris Bosh is living the dream like you did and loving it.
That's a great point, Kevin. And I think most of the guys in the league feel that same way. I mean, they may not be able to say it or articulate it as smoothly as Chris does,
sure.
but inside every NBA player is a kid who's still thrilled to wear the uniform and play the game they love.
Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for the 76ers.
Well, I'll tell you what, they must have had a good shoot-around because they've been fantastic from long range so far, fellas.
Also, guys, the passing has been terrific in the first half. They'll be happy with all those assists.
On the court for Miami here in the second. Brian Roberts out there with Rivers. Then there's Chris Kaman. Then there's Martin. And it's McRoberts in at the four-man position. Now let's send it to Doris from the sideline.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Pistons was just phenomenal. He had 27 points, and there didn't seem to be much you could do to stop him, shooting efficiently from both the field and the foul line. Just absolutely incredible numbers from him in a game you didn't want to miss. So glad we were here to watch it, Kevin.
Appreciate it, Doris. Thanks. Well, we've seen a lot of great players have a lot of great games, but that was something special.
And I love that no matter what approach they tried against him, nothing worked. I mean, he was ready.
And so we wrap up the first half. 76ers on top.
Hey, Kevin, well, Coach, with this type of...
We're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. You look at Freak in this game, he has been everywhere.
Yeah, he's played just a smart game overall offensively, looking for and finding the gaps in the defense, and also terrific shot selection.
Greg, that's exactly what we're talking about when we talk about
Hey guys, on today's episode of NBA 2K TV, we take a look behind the scenes at the making of Living the Dream and get some insight from
All right, fellas, competition time. Beat the pro. Let's go. All right, fellas, competition time. Beat the pro. Let's go. Okay, that's it for now. Make sure we're iced up and rested. Go ahead, keep shooting if you want. fellas, competition time. Beat the pro. Let's go. All right, fellas, competition time. Beat the pro. Let's go. Okay, that's it for now. Make sure we're iced up and rested. Go ahead, keep shooting if you want.
I won't bow down to no man.
I told you.
Hey guys, on today's episode of NBA 2K TV, we take a look behind the scenes at the making of Living the Dream and get some insight from world-famous director Spike Lee. We also help you make the most out of your MyCareer experience and give you the rundown of all...
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Early season's greetings, NBA fans. I'm Ernie Johnson. Thanks for joining us. Got Shaquille O'Neal here. Got Kenny the Jet Smith here for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Moments away at Wells Fargo Center, it'll be the Philadelphia 76ers going up against the Detroit Pistons. And guys, for the Pistons, they lost Game 1 in this matchup earlier this season. They'll see them 4 times in all, looking to even the series with a win tonight. And Joel Embiid missed all of last season with an injury. Now that he's getting some action on the floor, Kenny, how do you see him developing?
Well, he's very fluid. You know, he's got great movement, gets up and down the floor for his size. You know, he's got really...
At the power forward position, at 6 foot 9 inches, number 22, Holmes. At the other forward position.
Welcome to Philadelphia, everyone, as the 76ers get ready to defend home court in the Eastern Conference. It's Wednesday Night Basketball, live on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. The Pistons coming to town hoping to notch this one here in this one-game road trip. Well, guys, when you compare their performance last season to where they sit right now, not a whole lot different story. Not necessarily a big surprise either.
And I think for the Pistons, this isn't the spot that too many people thought they'd be in this far into the season. They've really turned some heads with their play.
Well, any doubts I had have long dissipated. I mean, they're not doing it with smoke and mirrors. I mean, they are a legitimate top-tier team.
And now the opening lineup for Detroit. Collison is out there with Green. Then it's Brandon Bass. Then it's Johnson, and it's Drummond in at the 5 spot. Johnson in the corner. Beyond the arc, and that one's good.
And how about that? Responding to the three-pointer against them with a quick one of their own.
Terrific little tay-to-tay going on right now. Back and forth. Here we go.
Here's Houdini. He had a 39-point outing in their last game against Indiana.
And don't forget about his playmaking in that game either. I mean, he did a great job of attacking the D and creating opportunities for both himself and his teammates.
Drummond sets the screen for Collison. Kicks it to Bass. Outside, Green. Puts it up from 15. Green missing again.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Here's Houdini. He's covered by Collison. 6 on the shot clock. On the wing, Chandler. Some nice ball movement here by the 76ers. Meeks inside the three-point line. Again, Philadelphia.
How about 3 or 4 from the floor to start? That's always a good sign.
Collison kicks to Drummond. Bass with the screen. On the wing, Green. After 2 misses to start the game, he's on the board with that shot made.
Well, that's simply a great move there, Kevin. He dusted off the defense and got to the cup for the easy basket.
They set the pick. Over in the corner, Meeks. Another 3 for Philadelphia.
4 or 5 shots have dropped for them already. Not a bad way to get things started.
Left side, Collison. Bass with a screen for Collison. "13 feet away. And the shot falls short this time. The 76ers leading by 5. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Kevin, I had a chance to speak briefly with Coach Nate McMillan. I asked him to sum up their season to this point, and he said there's definitely room for improvement, but there are a lot of positives they can draw from. He'd just like to see a little more consistency on a night-in, night-out basis. Wouldn't we all, Kevin?
And as always, Doris, thank you. Here's what Philadelphia's going with right now. Embiid, he's checked in for Okafor. Robert Covington comes in for Wilson Chandler. And it's Jackson in for Jody Meeks. Detroit also making some changes. Jason Smith, he's checked in for Andre Drummond. Morris comes in for Brandon Bass. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Gerald Green. Now here's Collison. Looking for his first basket still in this one. And it's good.
And I tell you what, anytime you get those easy ones, that basket starts to get bigger.
For Philadelphia, they've gone 4 of 7 from the field, shooting over 50%. Covington passes to Yates. Dishes it to Covington. And he gets it to go.
Well, check out that assist. That's a pair of teammates that are clearly on the same page.
The drive by Collison. Kicks it out to Johnson. There's the 3. It's rebounded by Yates. The 76ers leading by 5. From the arc, another 3 for Philadelphia.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Greg, you're exactly right. I mean, everything seems to be dropping. Impressive scoring here.
Looking now at some numbers for Collison. Some last season stats for him. Averaged about 13 points, assists, and 2 rebounds. And he's really been pulling his weight. He's had a hand in some big plays here recently.
Yeah, in every way, I think he's doing a much better job, and the numbers certainly support that.
Thomas checked in for Darren Collison. Morris with a screen on Jackson. Dellavedova dishes to Smith. Johnson, took the contact and tried to throw it down over the top, but instead he'll shoot free throws.
stops the dunk there. The best outcome in a bad situation.
You know, you don't like the foul, but if the alternative is giving up a dunk, it's an easy choice to make. I think it sets a tone for your defense around the rim. Make them earn it.
And now we have a chance to check out Freak here, how he performed last season. 2nd in three-point field goal percentage, 7th in field goal percentage, and he was top 10 in free throw percentage. Did not waste opportunities to convert at the line.
And, you know, going back to what you said, he was runner-up in three-point accuracy last season because no one could get him out of his rhythm.
Here's Houdini. He's got 6. Here's Covington. Here's Houdini, covered by Morris. Houdini passes to Covington. Lets it go with a 3. Another 3 for Philadelphia.
All these open threes they're giving up have really been the driving force of this run.
And the points are starting to add up in a hurry, especially when you're giving up those looks from deep.
Dellavedova kicks to Morris. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Smith outside. Smith with a screen on Jackson. And it's Dellavedova missing.
And no excuse there for missing that one after being freed up by a great pick.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they came away empty, but they got the look they wanted. And
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And guys, what's your take so far on Philadelphia?
A lot of tough D being played by them so far. It's been the difference maker.
Greg, no uncontested shots for the most part. That's why they've had success.
Here are the 5 Detroit has to start the second quarter. They've got Thomas. Andre Drummond is out there with Marcus Morris. And it's Green, and it's Dellavedova in at the point. Houdini passes to Embiid. Philadelphia moving the ball around. Embiid the screen. Here's Yates. Nice teamwork to set up the pick play and make the space for the J.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
Dellavedova kicks to Morris. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Dellavedova. Morris has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. The 76ers leading by 7. Now let's send it to Doris from the sideline.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Pacers was just a man on a mission. He finished with 39 points and was just on point from deep, sinking what seemed to be an endless stream of threes. What a show it was as he put up some really amazing numbers when it was all said and done. Even we marveled at his performance, Kevin.
All right, Doris, thanks so much for the report. You had to just marvel, guys, at what he was able to do that night, didn't you?
You know what? It was the game of basketball being played at its highest level. No question who their MVP was in that win.
No question whatsoever, Greg. I mean, that's a performance he and his fans will remember for a long, long time.
Covington with the bucket.
Another gap in the defense found there, and they've really had their number today.
Pistons trail by 11. Here is the 2K leader with the list of last season's top three-point shooters. Freak is second.
The bucket must have looked 3 feet wide to him last year. I mean, very deserving in terms of that spot among the league leaders from 3.
And the 76ers making a change here. Chandler's checked in. Brandon Bass is checked in for the Pistons. Collison comes in for Matthew Dellavedova. And Drummond kicks to Collison. Detroit, no good that time either.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those boys.
Clark, it wouldn't hurt. Some extra possessions would definitely help narrow the gap and maybe swing the momentum.
We're just over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. There's the bucket. Good. Green's got 6.
That was a nice finish to an excellent possession.
Looking at Philadelphia, they took the win in their last game against the Pacers in Indiana.
And even in hostile territory, as they were that day, they had no jitters at all. I mean, the confidence kept growing as the shots kept falling.
And they were falling big time. I mean, from the top to the bottom of that roster, everybody was locked, loaded, and spraying jumpers.
Outside Collison. From 12 feet out. Outside Thomas. Pass to Collison. And the foul called on Freak. So both teams making some changes here. And so we wrap up the first half. 70. And now the third quarter about to get going. You look at Freak in this game. And now the third quarter about to get going. You look at Freak in this game. He has been everywhere.
You just love it when the decision-making is as good as it was there in that first half. Didn't force anything.
Guys, I think here in the second half, though, they may want him to be a little more assertive. Start hunting more for his shot, even the tough one.
Pistons trail by 10. Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. So on the floor for Philadelphia, Yates is in at the point. He's out there. Here's Houdini. He's covered by Collison. Okafor dishes to Meeks. There's the Wilson Chandler out there with Okafor. And it's Holmes in at the four-man position. Here's Houdini. He's covered by Collison. Okafor dishes to Meeks. There's the feed to Chandler. 5 to shoot. Shot on the wing. No good. And it's Detroit the other way. Defeated by the Hornets in their last game. They'll try to put that one behind them.
Guys, it was like there was a lid on the basket in that game. No matter how many plays you make at the defensive end, hard to overcome such a lack of production offensively.
Well, you know, the high-quality shots were few and far between for them, guys. And they have nobody to blame but themselves for that. You've got to do a better job of working harder to put up points. They've done their part here to run down a lot of missed shots. A solid rebounding effort.
Yeah, energy has been the difference, and they're fighting for every loose ball and giving as good as they get on the inside.
That's good, and the 76ers lead is cut down now to just 5 on the bucket from Green. Here's Houdini. He's covered by Collison. Houdini passes to Okafor. And stolen by Drummond. The drive by Collison. 2 minutes gone in this third quarter now. Green, the screen. Collison kicks to Drummond. 4 on the clock. That one wide left. The 76ers leading by 5. Here's Chandler up and in on the layup.
And he's been the catalyst all game long. Love how he's distributing the basketball.
No doubt about it, Greg. I mean, when the offense runs through him, it's really smooth.
We got to be more physical on defense. They are getting to the middle of the floor way too easy.